Yes, AC, I know you you saw me subscribe to Wayne Radio TV. I know.
I wonder
Man,
if there's any like
down bad 4K.
That video.
Where's Con?
That fridge video.
She's using the restroom and stuff.
Wait, what's up, B?
Hey everyone, I said they're fucking that fridge video is funny as fuck.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Like, I understand.
You want the truth? You want the fucking truth? There is no fridge. I lied.
Remember to stay hydrated.
I gotta wonder if there's any hentai manga of Kinzo where he yells "Molest me not."
I don't think there's any hentai manga.
As he tries to fight off one of the servants or something.
Can I be real with you? The amount of NSFW Umineko shit is very low.
I can imagine. Look. As part of the current initiative of this entire thing to get more people into Umineko, I need you all to go out there and make as much Umineko-based porn as you possibly can.
I thought you were gonna tell us to go touch the grass.
Literally,
yes.
why?
You know what
based
okay, you know what? No, that too, but also go do the porn. A healthy combination of both, frankly.
Yeah. Any character is free reign as long as they're not Maria.
Yeah.
Watch fucking everyone just commission like several artists.
Cut here.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Alright. A news ticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. The disaster report told us how municipals all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. Of course, the harshly beating raindrops on the window were much more convincing. This rain's incredible. Still, when it's raining this hard, it feels like it's gonna stop soon.
You wish. They said the typhoon's moving slow, so it could be like this all day tomorrow. And even a little weather'd be enough to stop the boats.
It looks like we won't be able to head out on Sunday after all. I'm glad I was cautious and didn't make any appointments for Monday with the outside world.
I guess that means it looks like we'll be skipping school on Monday. Living on an island's starting to look pretty good. Come to think of it, Jessica, you have to take a boat to school every day, right? What did you do with the boats when the boats are closed down? You had to stay home when it rains and show up late when the wind's blowing, like King Kamehameha?
If the boats don't come, I stay late. Still, it's not as good as it sounds.
You stay home. You don't stay late.
I mean, staying would be late.
Yeah, whatever.
Most of the time I get ordered to do private study and they're super anal about checking it, so it's not like I can take it easy.
During the rainy season, when the weather stays bad for a long time, you must be forced to miss a bunch of days in a row.
Yep, that happens. But then every single day I'll get a call from my homeroom teacher sourly instructing me on what to study and what to turn in. If only there was a modern, different device that could hold a screen with a keyboard and give that to me instantly.
And if only it had a camera modified right in the front of it so they can view our faces perfectly fine.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? That's never gonna happen.
Oh. She can't slack off as easily as you're thinking, Battler Gun. She has to follow the rules for people that travel to school by boat and get a good amount of studying done.
It'd actually be easier to just go to school. In my own room, I get distracted and can't concentrate. Plus, being made to do nothing but workbooks for several days straight is really mentally stressful. When I'm ready for college, I really just want to go someplace with dorms and say goodbye and good riddance to this pain-in-the-ass island.
Huh. So, by the way, what do you do when the weather's good in the morning, then gets bad on your way home that the boats are closed? You spend the night at school?
That actually happens a lot. So they have some lodgings there for people who can't get back to the island.
So they only have one. They only have one bed for you. Okay.
I stay over there. Sometimes when it gets really bad, I can't get back home for a few days at a time.
If you look at it from If you look at it from the perspective of those people who have to go to school every day on a train packed to over 200% capacity, it's easy to irresponsibly think that going to school on a boat seems pretty interesting and fun. But it's actually a hard work in a lot of ways.
Inconsiderate tourists say that kind of thing all the time. Ugh, had enough of island life. I want to finish high school quick and leave this island behind.
It must have been a full boarding school you could have gone to, like St. Lucia's. Why'd you go and choose the school on Nijima?
That's what I wanted from the very beginning. It's Mom. She's always going on about how I need to learn manners and discipline as the successor to the head. In the end, I got stuck with a high school close to home. Man, I hate this island. I just want to go live in a city. A city where it doesn't matter if rain or spears fall from the sky, because as long as you stick some casual clothes and sandals on, you can still get to a shop in less than 5 minutes. I feel that pain every day.
Hold out just a bit more. It's only a little longer before you graduate high school, right?
I can't wait a little longer.
Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe because now was a bad time slot. There weren't any interesting programs on.
Bless me.
And we had nothing to do but languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. In the end, Maria had not returned to the cousin's room. She'd probably been brought back to the mansion by Auntie Rosa. That'd be pretty boring for Maria, all by herself while the adults are having a confusing conversation. We thought we might head over to the mansion to see her. But after all, there was this lousy weather. It wasn't that much time until dinner. So we stayed where we were. At that time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Jessica answered.
Hello?
The preparations for dinner are complete. Please come to the mansion.
Since when did a
Cannon.
chair get pushed up to the door?
It was Cannon-kun's voice. He went to all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this range to call us over. Didn't he just call us on the telephone? Oh well. Maybe sometimes part of a servant's duty is to go against common sense.
Just when I was getting hungry. Let's go.
George Anarchy turned off the television and stood up. My stomach's been growling for ages. Main family dinners were always fancy as hell. Every time. It didn't go to Sansei, it was calf steak or something. Oh, I can't wait.
They get even more fabulous on the day of the family conference. Even I'm looking forward to it. Let's go! Let's go!
As we left the room, Cannon-kun bowed silently and respectfully.
Alright, let's go. Is the rain nasty out there?
Yes. Please take care not to get your garments wet.
After seeing the three of us out,
Darn it.
Cannon-kun peered into the empty room.
Is Marie-sama not with you?
Nope. Isn't she with Auntie Rosa? Oh fuck.
Rosa, lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, had fallen asleep at some point. She was bearing a burden on her shoulders that the children could never even imagine. Therefore, when she let herself relax, that exhaustion quickly led her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her. Tried to spread it over her, her eyes snapped open as though she had received an electric shock.
Oh, it's you, Genji-san. Thank you.
When she realized that the thing had touched her, it was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let a sigh of relief.
Did I wake you? My sincere apologies.
No, it's okay. I hadn't planned on sleeping in the first place. What time is it now?
As for the time, Genji checked a pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket.
It is slightly after 6 o'clock.
Rosa gave her head a little shake as she realized that. Even though it had felt like she had slept for a long time, not much time had actually passed. Even though she didn't feel rested at all the drowsiness that wrapped around her felt very deep.
Thank you. I'll be fine without the blanket. I mustn't sleep at such a strange time. My sense of time has been completely thrown off. The rain has finally come down, I see.
Rosa finally realized the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain that had started falling.
The wind is blowing hard, too. Perhaps the typhoon is finally upon us?
That is what. Sorry. Good. That is what they are saying on television. The typhoon is moving slowly. They expect it to be like this all through tomorrow.
I see. That wonderful rose garden. That must have been my last chance to see it.
From the window, what you could see of the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and the rain.
Maria. That's right. Where's Maria?
I have not seen her. I would think she had returned to the guest house.
Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, and a chill ran up her back. Maria was stupidly straightforward, to the point that stupidly could be repeated 7 times. If she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. Even if rain was pouring down.
No. The cousins left earlier, so Maria was alone. Unless someone told her to stop, she would stay there, even if spit fell down from the sky. Without even opening an umbrella. What have I done? Losing control of my emotions.
As her mother, she had known about Maria's foolish straightforwardness better than anyone. Yet she had once again lost control of her emotions and done such a horrible thing.
Maria!
Maria! Rose pushed Genji away and ran down the hallway.
If somebody makes a stupid shadow joke, I'm outie.
He just did.
Yeah, I did.
What?
Yeah, he literally
He
just
he
did.
says Maria. He says Maria like that.
Motherfuck!
He beat you to the punch.
Should have seen it
Oh.
coming.
Stupid joke, then
You
we're
should
gonna
have seen
be
it coming.
having problems.
Look, my old fucking Xbox Live username was Demon Sonic 98. You didn't know these things about me. I'm very predictable. The outside really looked like a typhoon and was pouring down magnificently. Maybe because of some figure of the terrain, the winds were not as strong as a typhoon, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hand. Even so, it was enough to call it a storm. There was no time to admire the roses being soaked by the rain. Anyway, I'm getting pretty worried about Maria. You don't think she'll still be she's still rebelliously searching for that rose alone, do you?
I wonder. Surely not with this much rain. Is what I'd like to think, but Maria-chan is sometimes really stubborn and foolishly simple.
We hadn't worried much, thinking that Auntie Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, it was concerning that Canon-kun thought that Maria was here when he came from the mansion to call us.
I did not see her in the mansion, so I had assumed that she was here. Since Rosa-sama was taking a nap.
You didn't see her on your way over here?
My apologies. I opened my umbrella and ran as fast as I could, so I did not pay much attention.
If he had cut through the rose garden on the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have missed the place Maria had been looking for her rose by a little. And it was raining hard, too. There's a good chance that Canon-kun had failed even to notice her. Not debating around here. It'd be faster if I just check it out directly. Anarchy, you up for a little race?
So you think you can beat me now that you've had 6 years to grow? Alright, let's find out. Let's go!
Georgia, Anarchy, and I flew out into the rain. Jessica and Canon-kun followed behind us.
Maria! You're there, answer me! Maria!
It's Auntie Rosa. Auntie.
Jordaniki called back. Auntie Rosa flew at him in what almost amounted to a tackle.
Where's Maria? Is she with you?
No, we haven't seen Maria-chan since then.
Maria!
6 years ago, Maria had been 3 years old. She had been a cute and pure kid who would just accept whatever anyone said. But 6 years had passed since then. She was 9 now and experiencing the good and bad parts of life that should have taught her something. And yet, she's still just as innocent and pure as she used to be? Maria! I circled the rosebed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. Maria, holding a white umbrella, was crouching, still searching for that rose. Her face, which turned bright red from her crying her eyes out, was dirty with water and mud. It was a truly painful sight to see. You idiot! Are you still looking?
Can't find it. My rose. Can't find it. Oh.
Maria probably been here since the rain had started pouring down. Looked like her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone. But fortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she wasn't completely soaked. Probably an umbrella from the handbag that Maria was always walking around with. Oh, thank goodness. Seriously, thank goodness.
Ballericon. Thank goodness you found her.
Maria! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Auntie Rosa threw an umbrella away and hugged Maria.
It's not here. My rose isn't here.
Mama will look for it with you later. Okay? I'll just let it go for today. Okay?
Let it go for today.
Looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Jessica and Canon-kun caught up with us.
I'll have a tower ready in the mansion immediately.
Maria! Were you here the whole time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being such a bad mother.
Auntie Rosa, why don't we head back to the mansion for the time being? Maria-chan will catch a cold like this.
You're right. Maria, let's go. If we don't get you cleaned up, Grandfather will get mad at you.
I'm hungry. It's already time to eat. You did a good job searching. Once the weather gets better, we'll all go search together.
We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us as we headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as weak as I had thought. I still remember that dinner was calf steak. Started chanting, "I'm hungry, hungry, ooh!" Returned to her usual healthy self. Auntie Rosa didn't chide Maria on her ooh-oohs.
So that's it. You had an umbrella. You sure are good at packing the right stuff. I didn't bring an umbrella.
What? How'd you get that white umbrella you're holding?
Borrowed it.
Seemed that some caring person had brought her an umbrella. A normal girl would look for shelter once it started raining, but there's no way Maria's stubbornness would be broken by something like that. Maybe that person gave up recommending that she find shelter. At least brought an umbrella for her.
Really? I will have to thank them. Who was it?
Beatrice.
The name that Maria mentioned very happily was that of the island's witch. Ilza took a deep breath and asked again, trying to avoid hurting Maria's feelings now that she was happy.
Really? That's nice. So, who was it? The person who brought you that umbrella.
Oh. Beatrice! Oh.
Maria, who quickly picked up that her mother didn't believe her, made angry feints once again.
Oh.
So Rosa started pursuing the subject. Like it would be faster to ask the person who had lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself.
Because we don't want another round of child abuse.
Cool.
I'm glad you didn't catch a cold, Maria, but now you're gonna catch these hands if you don't tell me who got the umbrella for you.
Ooh, that was some nasty.
Anyways, Kraus.
Did you say ooh? Father, please at least join us for dinner. It won't be a family conference like this.
Along with the dull pounding on that door, the sound of Kraus's entreaty could be heard. However, that voice seemed to harbor a sense of resignation, that its sound would not reach his intended ears.
Kenzo-san, won't you at least go out for dinner? Haven't all your children gathered here to see your face?
Silence, Nonjo! So the bishop won't work. One move short. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nonjo. His brow wrinkled. He continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Kraus's voice didn't reach his ears.
Kinzo-san, I'm also hungry. Won't you go down and eat?
In that case, you can go by yourself. Let me consider this next move for a little longer. We are going to finish it tonight. Otherwise, it looks like this match will never in eternity be settled. Nando stood from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same. But Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess. But he had never seen Kinzo as focused as he was right now. He was acting almost as though, just as he had said, if the game wasn't finished tonight, there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest. Further attempts to persistently call him would surely not reach his heart. Nandra gave up and headed to the door that Kraus was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Kraus took a step back. Surely Kinzo hadn't actually come out. But it was Nandra who stood at the door. Kraus breathed a sigh of relief.
No.
Dr. Nonjo. Is father...
I'm sorry, I couldn't be of service. Kinzo-san's world is nothing but this room now.
Nandra shook his head with a completely defeated expression. Kraus raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting.
Father, can you hear me? We're heading down now, but any time you feel like it, please join us. All of your children are waiting for you.
The voice was very loud, and the door was being noisily pounded on. There was no way that it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. It was reaching him. However, he was ignoring it, anyway. However, at the time he was being called down for lunch, he did not get into a rage. Kinzo was now simply calm at heart. It was almost like as though he had attained peace by turning himself over to fate. I am not interested in dinner, nor my son's faces. I will only leave here when Beatrice is resurrected, or when I am chosen as a sacrifice for the key. The demon's roulette has already started spinning. What meaning does dinner have at this point? The painfully loud banging on the door had completely failed to enter his hearing. Kinzo, in a state of total peace, suddenly thought about his next chess move. Just as always, Kinzo was the only one missing from the dining hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
Just as always, Father isn't feeling well. He truly regrets missing this once-a-year opportunity to sit together with his gathered relatives.
Ava and Rudolph snickered. Judging by Kinzo's character, he didn't regret it at all. And none of his relatives regretted that he hadn't appeared either.
Then why don't we start dinner? Goda, get it started.
Certainly. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin. Upon finally being told to begin the family conference dinner, his highlight scene for the whole year, Goda nodded, grinning broadly.
I was wondering, who was it that lent Maria an umbrella?
When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone there turned their attention to her at once.
Umbrella? What's this about? It started raining while Maria was in the rose garden a short while back. It seems she borrowed a white umbrella for someone, and I wanted to thank them.
It wasn't one of us. After you went out, Rosa, we changed rooms and continued our friendly chat the whole rest of the time.
Yeah, that's right. Even after that, us siblings kept on with our friendly chat.
The word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips, so that even those that hadn't been there realized that it hadn't been a pleasant conversation.
At the very least, it certainly couldn't have been me, Ava, Rudolph, or even Hideyoshi-san or Kirie-san.
We were together the whole time, even after Natsuhime-san and Rosa-san left. The whole time until the meal started. Ne-san went up the study with Genji-san to call father. At that time, the rest of us went straight to the dining hall. So it wasn't one of us. For a consideration like lending an umbrella, wouldn't it be one of the servants? So, Goda-san?
I've been in the kitchen the whole time preparing. My sincere apologies. Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing the chance to show off. At that time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, pushing a servant's cart loaded with hors d'oeuvres.
Then perhaps it was Kumasawa or Shannon-chan? I'm sorry? Have I made some mistake?
Shannon shrunk, mistakenly thinking that she was being accused of making some error, having come in part way.
Boobs!
No, you haven't.
Yeah?
When Maria-chan was alone in the rose garden, it started to rain. Someone gave her an umbrella. Auntie Rosa said that she wanted to thank that person.
Beatrice.
Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Auntie Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled.
Wasn't ours. San and I were preparing the rooms together, so we did not go outside.
Yes. I apologize for not being able to help.
Preparing the rooms? What do you mean by that?
Because of this rain, I thought that it would be difficult for all of the guests to return to the guest house. So I ordered the servants to prepare the guest rooms inside the mansion. Really? How thoughtful. That's right, it would be rude to chase us outside in all this rain, wouldn't it?
Could you give it a rest?
Oh, not on your life. Yes. We received the orders from Madam. And I, Kumasawa-san, and Kanu-kun were preparing the rooms. Then it became time for dinner, and since we had received an order from Genji-sama to go to the guest house and call the children, Kanu-kun left on our behalf.
Jelly.
Mike's muted, Chelly.
Ah, that's why.
What's that like?
Yes, that
What's
is
that
true.
noise?
The
in
boiler
background?
room.
What?
Are you talking about me?
No, like
No,
Shelly has
like-
like. It sounds like a fuck. It sounds like the.
That's why
fucking-
AC, man. It's
Sounds
fucking
like
hot.
the radio from Silent Hill.
Every time Kumasawa opens her mouth, she unleashes the boiler room demons.
Okay, I can turn it off if it's
No,
if
no,
it's
no,
a
no,
problem.
no, no,
No,
No,
Fine.
don't overheat
It's
yourself for this.
summer.
It's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. It's summer.
Fine,
Okay.
it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do this for real. Yes. In that case, did Kanan-san find Maria on the way to the guest house and hand her the umbrella?
That's not it!
The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she had thought that asking like this, with everyone gathered for dinner, would work immediately.
Then Natsuhine-san? I'm sorry. After my friendly conversation with everyone, my headache was so bad I have been resting in my room. Therefore, I did not go outside. Then, who? George Kun and the kids? That can't be right.
No, it wasn't us. We were watching television in the guest house the whole time.
Actually, we thought that Maria had gone back to the mansion with you.
Ganon-kun came, and he asked whether Maria was with us. That was when he first realized that she wasn't in the mansion. In the first place. If it were me, before lending her an umbrella, I'd have grabbed her hand and pulled her to under a roof. Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants were claiming that it wasn't them. Even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. With that, by process of elimination, the number of people it could have been wasn't large.
Of course it wasn't me. Right after it began raining, I visited Kinzo-san's room and have been playing chess with him sorry, I'm out of breath. Chess with him until just now.
Which means that it also wasn't grandfather.
Wait a sec. Doesn't this seem to get a bit weird? Who's left?
Then, who? Genji-san? Huh? Wait a second. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm searching for some culprit or anything. All I want to do is, as a mother, thank that person who gave Maria an umbrella in the middle of the rain.
Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why? Everyone started whispering about how strange this had all gotten.
Calm down, Rosa. Why don't we just ask the person who borrowed the umbrella?
An idea that everyone would agree makes sense. They were scratching their heads at why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
Of course! Rudolph-kun here's got it right. Maria-chan, tell your uncle. Who lent you the umbrella?
Beatrice!
The journal was wrapped in silence for an instant, but that soon broken was wrapped in laughter.
Really, though, I am very sorry about that.
Oh,
It's alright, you can't control that.
I see. Beatrice, the witch of the forest, felt pity and lent her an umbrella. What a nice story. Rosa, there you go.
Would say umbrella.
Rosa didn't seem satisfied.
Oh shit, I clicked the wrong thing.
She wanted to say thanks for the umbrella. Why did everyone have to be so clouded in smoke?
Ah! Just like Uncle Carl said. Beatrice sent it to me.
Isn't that wonderful? Oh, innocence, such an enviable thing.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even scroll up!
Don't you all
The curse of
agree?
Beatrice! She's coming back to haunt all of us! First it was my mic and now it's Orange's computer!
Cross was laughing with a face
Thank
that was clearly
God.
mocking her. But Maria, who apparently feeling that her claim was being believed, was overjoyed.
What's going on? Don't tell me a witch really appeared and lent her an umbrella.
This asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me. Hey, Maria. Has Maria ever been the type to joke? If we had heard that kind of story pop out of the old bastard's mouth, we would have just taken it as another joke. However, coming from Maria's mouth, it became somewhat inexplicable, strangely unsettling.
No way. She's always been frank and serious. Hasn't she just always swallowed up jokes that were supposed to be obvious lies? I've never even heard of her cracking a joke.
Auntie Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that, because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore. So, if Maria says that she borrowed an umbrella from Beatrice, that definitely was Beatrice?
We're talking about Maria here, so I can't imagine it was some kind of metaphor or a joke. It might be best to take what she says at face value.
Then what's going on? That Genji-san or someone put on that fancy dress in the portrait and gave Maria the umbrella?
That's an image I didn't mean to see. I have no idea. Actually, that's what I want to know.
Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression wasn't completely joking. Once the hors d'oeuvres were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple casual chats broke out here and there, seemed somehow distant. It was a quiet dinner, finding no respite for the intrusive sound of rain that was creeping into the dining hall. Kumasawa and Shannon, pushing the serving carts, ran into Genji and Cannon on their way into the kitchen.
Angie, were you the one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella?
Umbrella? Thanks, Discord. Fucking dick!
I was about to say, a lot of people have been popping in and out on Discord.
For some reason, my Discord's having this issue where it's like, hey, bitch, I'm gonna shut down and completely kick you out. My apologies. I will try to have it fixed by next session. Hopefully it doesn't do it again.
It's Beatrice.
I fucking wish.
Beatrice is hunting Discord.
If Beatrice was hunting Discord, the world would be a better place.
No, it's funny because like Beatrice could just be haunting the CDs that this game was originally packaged on, but now she's moved on to Discord.
Yo!
Oh,
Beatrice has
God.
gone viral!
I wish.
It's like Ringu.
I wish.
Dude.
Let's keep
Like,
going!
when was the last time any of you installed shit
All right,
on a
now, let's
CD?
go.
Not right now, let's go.
Umbrella? What are you talking about? Fuck, let me read to that. No, wait.
Right.
You're fine!
That's fine.
I heard that when it started raining, Maria-sama was alone in the rose garden. And it seems that she borrowed an umbrella from someone there. But we don't know who it was.
It wasn't me. After all, I thought Maria-sama was in the guest house. When Balor-sama first found her, she was already holding a white umbrella. My apologies, but it was not me either.
Then you don't think it was the master, possibly?
Everyone in both the dining hall and the place they were standing now had stated that it wasn't them. It meant that only Kinzo was left. But
Sorry?
Billy.
Where's my mic? There it is. Sorry. Maybe he went walking down the corridor for some reason, when by coincidence he saw Maria-sama in the rose garden, but even an umbrella.
The master does not particularly like Maria-sama, as fucked up as that may sound. I agree. I can't imagine that. Just for Maria-sama, he would trouble himself to go all the way down the stairs to carry an umbrella directly to her?
Oh my, how troublesome. That means that the one who lent Maria-sama an umbrella really was Beatrice-sama? Oh, was that laugh?
Kumasama laughed. The relatives in the dining hall had laughed it off. He couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke availing this current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of a hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. They'll turned around at once to see that it was Goda, who was coming out of the dining hall. Chop chop, everyone! When serving a dinner, it's essential to make sure the dishes are served with the proper timing. Please immediately see to setting out the soup. Genji-san, the women are in the middle of an important job, so don't get in their way.
I fucking hate you.
Kennen said that internally at Goda for being rude to Genji, a person whose Kennen respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Kennen once in the shoulder as if to warn him. Kennen reluctantly turned away, and returned his expressions to normal.
Obey Goda's orders. Let us now hurry to the preparation. Let us now hurry to the preparation.
Prepare! Prepare the dining table!
Let us now hurry to prepare the dinner table. Fucking
go.
Come on! We have no time! Don't just dawdle around! Hurry!
Your voice is like nails on a chalkboard, you fuck.
I resent that! Go to
Don't
grab
you
the
mean
serving
you
cart.
resemble that?
Go to grab the serving cart from Shannon and drove it past her, heading toward the kitchen at a pace.
Please allow us to return to the kitchen. What the After all, Goda-san's patience is very short.
Please excuse me as well.
Kumasawa and Shannon left the party. Only Genji and Kennen remained. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
Genji-sama. Has Beatrice-sama really returned? I don't know. Should we inform the master? There is no need. If she has truly returned, she will eventually appear before the master of her own accord. Furthermore, she is a fickle person. It would be pointless to report. It would be pointless to report to the master only to find that she does not appear. I wonder if this means the master's ritual has already begun. Probably. However, that has nothing to do with furniture like us. We must return the favor that we received from the master until our final moments. Yes. As furniture, that is our duty.
Thunder crashed once more. Except for that instant where the lighting lit up the sky, all that could be seen out the window was the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, the time when the sun is down is ruled by those that are not human. The darkness of night now surrounding Rokenjima was ruled not by the Yoshimiya family, but by another master. This master take pity on Maria when she was alone and pummeled by the rain in the rose garden, and lend her an umbrella. Ken looked at the rose garden's lights, dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights were not enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Ken forcibly averted his gaze. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by the night. Perhaps the weather was also a factor. You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's moods and physical health. For some time now, everyone had been making periodic attempts to clear the gloomy atmosphere. But any conversation quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply buried by the sound of the rain. Dessert was some kind of chocolate cake accompanied by a pear sorbet. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as if delivering the coup de grace, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent. The weather was horrible, and the person who had lent Maria the umbrella was still a mystery. When dinner ended, no one even felt one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but as painfully the taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of this performance, called dinner, did his best to enliven the event, dropping little jokes left and right, but it seemed like they didn't quite get there. They're taking orders for our after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice. He left the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke.
My. How truly irksome that this dinner, which Goda worked so hard to create, has been so poorly received.
Yes, seriously. It feels like nothing would taste good today. It's just that kind of mood.
Oh, I would love to hear why you feel that way. Sometime later, allow me as your older brother to help cheer you up.
Auntie Ava grimaced slightly. I heard that she was not on good terms with Uncle Kraus, but now I could certainly feel it. I looked around and noticed that my dad and Auntie Rose were also grimacing. Anyhow, it looked like there was something besides the weather that was troubling all of them. Auntie Ava and my dad. They both looked like they were in a bad mood.
Really? I don't think so.
I asked Aunt Nazi, who was sitting on my right, but it looked like she was also in a bad mood. She snapped back, as though she was absolutely not interested.
Well, our adult conversation got a bit complicated. It's not something kids like you need to worry about, Batlakun. Right, Natsui-san, Kirie-san.
Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness. So I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had actually become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsu and Kirie-san, the people that had directed his comment to, ignored him as though they hadn't heard anything. I don't know what kind of conversation they had been having while we kids were away. It reminded me of how Dad had said that his stomach cramps, that he had stomach cramps when he arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults. After Uncle Hideyoshi was ignored by the other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kirie-san spoke up.
We were talking about how the kids' careers would turn out. What will you do in the future, Battler-kun? Just drift on to college? Would that be a little disheartening as a starting line for the long race of life?
Hey, wait a sec. Kirie-san, if you start talking about something like that in the middle of a meal, it won't digest well and we'll all get constipated, right?
That's right. We were talking about Battler-kun and Jessica-chan's careers. You can't take the future too seriously.
Hideyoshi heartily agreed, as if they really had been talking about that. But they probably hadn't. Kirie-san had obviously been trying to avoid talking about something. However, if Kirie-san determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she was probably right. Taking this into account, I decided to cast aside my suspicions as to the cause behind Auntie Ava and Dad's bad moods. At long last, the serving cart returned, filled with tea and coffee. Kumasawa-san and Shannon-chan served to everyone. Yoda-san then explained that, with this, tonight's dinner was over. If I had been able to eat in a more cheerful mood, it might have been the best dinner of my life. It seemed this greatest of dinners couldn't have been had in the greatest of conditions.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, I can't
Voice.
unsee that.
The Discord chat.
Oh!
Jesus Christ, Joshy.
Yeah!
Oh!
It's been on stream. We've acknowledged its existence.
Oh my god!
Okay, alright.
It's bad enough that we have
Everyone
fucking. It's better that we
see.
have fucking Oishi in the goddamn maid uniform, but now there's this. Or not maid uniform.
I don't know which. I can't tell which image is more cursed!
It's definitely the Oishi one.
Yeah, this is not nearly as bad. I mean, he fucking works that dress.
No!
Master
no,
requires
it's
me to
not.
wear the dress
Even
properly.
if the agrees, it looks crazy!
The master
His head is
requires
too
me to wear
big.
it.
His head too big for his goddamn feet.
Bottom men should not wear dresses!
Yeah, they should. More power to them for doing that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Umineko-san, is dinner over now? Over?
Yeah. We're all done now.
That's not ladylike. Stay in your seat and calmly drink up.
Maria looked like she was really excited about the occasionally crashing thunder. And she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window. She'd been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder, while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter. So when she heard from George Aniki that dinner was over, a huge smile broke out across her face.
Kid.
She then stood from her seat, took out her handbag, which she had set under her seat, never having left it, even when she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. No one seemed particularly concerned with this behavior.
Wait, what's that? Where did you get it?
George was the first to notice it. As he spoke, Battler also noticed. When they looked, they noticed that Maria was now holding a beautiful Western-style envelope. On the front of the envelope, the Ashurmia family crest, the one-winged eagle, was done in gold leaf. Furthermore, it was sealed with dark red wax, imbuing a level of class upon it that made it clear that this is not something that Maria should be carrying around for fun.
Maria-chan, what is that?
You see, the Nazi had also noticed the strangeness of the envelope that Maria was holding. Of the envelope, man. Because her voice sounded too serious to be admonishing a small child, the other relatives around her finally noticed.
What's up, Natsuhine-san?
What is that? Maria? Where did you pick that up?
That envelope has Kinzo-san's.
As Nandro muttered that, even as kids could understand why everyone seemed to be frozen solid. God damn it! The envelope that Maria had held was one of the Ashurmia family's head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. The envelope contained a message from Kinzo.
Oh. What's an envelope like that doing here? It looks like something interesting has jumped out at us.
Just let me have a peek.
No, I'm reading it. I was told to read it to everyone.
Uncle Hideyoshi should have snatched the envelope out of Maria's hands, but she protected it as though hugging it, and didn't let it go.
Hideyoshi-san, you shouldn't take something from a child by brute force. Maria-chan, where did you get this envelope?
Got it from Beatrice when she gave me the umbrella. She told me to read it to everyone after the meal was over. I'm the witch's messenger.
Messenger. The witch the island, she likes to mess around. Rather try to joke about it, but no one went along with him.
I wonder what's written inside of it, Maria-chan.
Reading.
Maria casually opened up the envelope. It was sealed in with wax, so she just had to remove the sealing wax to open it up. That sealing wax fell off onto the desk. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. He then sat in the center of the table, where Natsuhi, Kyrie, and Nanjo glared at it. Printed there was a sealing wax with a one-winged eagle on it, which is the Ashomiya family crest, and also Kinzo's personal crest.
This is the family's head's personal crest.
I know because I have received letters from Kinzo-san before. Without a doubt, this is Kinzo-san's wax seal.
But in this mansion, couldn't there be several identical seals? For example, if there was some kind of stamp for wax seals, couldn't someone other than Kinzo-san have sealed it?
No, Kinzo-san would have used a ring on his finger. Here's proof of the Ushiromiya family headship, when he sealed the wax. This shape and complex design is definitely Kinzo-san's seal.
Oh, that isn't necessarily so. Anyone in the family must have received a letter from Dad at least once. We can't eliminate the possibility that someone using that wax as a model created a fake seal to pass themselves off as father. I agree with Anarchy. No matter how the seal resembles Dad's, we can't prove that it's the real thing. Therefore, it doesn't prove that this envelope came from Dad.
I feel the same way. I cannot approve of arbitrarily deciding that this is Father's letter only by the seal in the wax. Dr. Nanjo, would you mind refraining from speaking such vague words?
I apologize. I said too much.
One after another, all the siblings, from Kraus on downward, rejected Nanjo's statement. The envelope that Maria was holding had not necessarily been sent by Kinzo. They were afraid. Kinzo's intentions were written in there, and they feared from the bottoms of their hearts that there might be some decidedly unfavorable announcement regarding their inheritance.
Maria? The person who gave you that envelope was the same person who lent you that umbrella, right? I don't know what "oo" means. Is it true?
Yeah.
So in other words, the witch, Beatrice, gave you that envelope along with the umbrella?
Maria nodded forcefully.
I agree with my husband. It's a dubious letter handed over by some suspicious person. It's not even worth reading.
Oh, go on. What's the worst that could happen, right?
Do not invoke Murphy's Law, Battler!
Famous last words.
What could possibly go wrong?
No. You gotta say, like, what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Anyways, we're gonna read the letter now. Beth said it to Jessica in a small voice, and pretending to stir things up. But Natsuhi heard him clearly, and glared at him with threatening eyes.
And then, Beatrice told you to read it after the meal was over, right?
Ooh.
Why not, everyone? This isn't grandfather's envelope, it's Beatrice's. Who cares who wrote it? Why can't we just hear what's inside before passing judgment?
That's right. Even if Father didn't necessarily write it, I'm still concerned about its content. Maria-chan, I'm sorry I tried to take it away from you by force earlier. I apologize. So will you read it out loud in front of everyone?
Maria? Read it.
Oh,
Dear pesky plumbers. As all the relatives stared fiercely at Maria, she spread the letter open with a rustle.
Do you really think it's Dad's letter? Impossible. Whenever Father has announced something to us in the past, if he didn't do it directly, he'd always send Genji-san, right? I can't believe he would use such a joke-like approach.
That's right. Maria, a messenger? That's seriously not his style. Rosa, this must be Maria-chan trying to surprise us with some hidden kind of talent, right? Maria's not a kid capable of something so clever. Don't say that about your daughter.
read it.
The words came out of Maria's mouth, but for some reason it felt like her voice was different from usual. Everyone went suddenly silent. That's not what it's fucking called. It's called Fishy Aroma. Also, Bop Alert!
Yeah, this is a banger. By the way, this is Orange's outro.
Is it really called Fishy Aroma?
The actual
Yes,
translation
yes.
is Fishy
It
Aroma.
actually is.
Anyways,
Ew. Well, that one could also be interpreted as sexual.
Anyways, go ahead and read.
Welcome to Rokkenjima, ladies and gentlemen of the Yoshiromiya family. I am Beatrice, the alchemist for this family, under the employ of Kinzo-sama.
How absurd!
Quiet.
I have served him for many years in accordance with our contract, but today, Kinzo-sama has announced the termination of that contract. Therefore, I ask that you acknowledge my resignation from the position of family alchemist as of today.
How foolish. What nonsense.
I can't stand to listen to it.
And now, there is one part of the contract that I must explain to you all. I, Beatrice, lent Kinzo-sama a vast quantity of gold under certain terms. One of these terms specifies that all the gold is to be returned to me upon the termination of the contract. Furthermore, I am to receive everything of the Yoshiromiya family as interest.
Ridiculous!
It's been ridiculous from the very beginning. You're only realizing that now?
So it's basically one of those things, right? It's like one of those contracts with the devil you always hear about. And the contract has expired, so she's come to collect the interest. Trying to grab some retirement money at her old age or something? What a cheeky witch.
Balor-kun, now is not the time to joke around.
Shut up. Finally made a face as if to ask, if I can't make fun of this, what can I make fun of? At the same time, some of the adults' faces were pale, while I was looking completely shocked.
After hearing this, you may feel as though Kinzo-sama has been savagely ruthless.
Got the violin.
However, Kinzo-sama did appeal a special clause to the contract so that you would have a chance to preserve your wealth and honor. If and only if that special clause is fulfilled, I will lose my rights to the gold in the interest for all eternity.
A special clause?
What is it?
special clause. Beatrice has the right to collect the gold and accumulate interest upon the termination of the contract. However, if someone is able to discover the hidden gold of this contract, Beatrice must abandon these rights for all time. The collection of the interest will proceed shortly, but if any one of you fulfills the terms of this special clause, I shall return everything, including the portion that has already been collected. Furthermore, as the first step in this collection of Kinzo-sana's debt, I have taken possession of the Yoshiromiya family head's ring, which signifies the passage of the Yoshiromiya family headship from one individual to another. I ask that you confirm this for yourselves by examining the imprint on the wax seal.
You want me to accept this as real? That Dad would relinquish his ring is unthinkable.
I was staring at the ceiling wax as though he was trying to burn a hole through it. I even know if Rudolph were doing the same thing over his shoulder.
I did have the old feeling that something was missing from Kinzo-san's finger when we were playing chess.
Dr. Nanjo, don't say something so careless just because of a vague memory. We can't prove its authenticity here. The questions of whether Father really has handed over his ring and whether this letter tells the truth, we can determine simply by asking him directly. That's right. It's just as Kyrie-san says.
Well, now I wonder, will Kinzo-san answer you? After all, that person's thoughts are sometimes impossible to predict using common sense.
In any event, this doesn't leave the realm of nonsense. In the first place, the fiction of the gold is itself a deception by Father. If you want to talk about non-existent gold, leave me out of it.
But you heard what the witch is saying, right? About how the headship and all of the assets would be handed over to the one who finds the gold? So, could this mean that Beatrice-sama's father's legal advisor may be in charge of his fund? We can't possibly trust the kind of strange person who would entrust such a suspicious letter to a child.
Anarchy, time for you to open up. Is it possible that someone you don't know is actually handling Dad's assets? No, that's impossible. As the agent to the head, I have total knowledge of all Father's assets. There shouldn't be anyone who can manipulate them without me knowing it.
Then there must be some assets that you do not have full knowledge of, mustn't there, Krasny-san?
Absurd, there's no such thing!
Oh yes, there is. One asset's of Father's that you know nothing about. There is no way that something like that exists.
Now it does. That'd be Father's, no, Beatrice's hidden gold.
Let's put things in order. In short, Dad has some trusted confidant that not even Anarchy knows about. Furthermore, this person has always been in charge of watching and managing the gold. It's possible that this person is a dilettante of a very rich family who provided his financing in the first place through a mock devil's contract.
Could it be that this confidant, this Beatrice-san, is trying to test which of the sons and daughters is most fitting to be financed by her gold?
We're curious, it was something that all the siblings wanted to clarify. Upon reflection, they realized that during the time of Kinzo's strange epitaph had been displayed in the halls beneath the portrait of the witch. They had always whispered that the one who solved the puzzle would receive everything, yet no one had ever clearly stated it. Something that everyone had hoped might be true. That had, right here, right now, been clearly expressed by Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified that everything of the Ashirmia family was to be given to the one who found the gold.
Kinzo-sama has already publicly displayed the location of the hidden gold within the epitaph under my portrait. The rules apply equally to all who can read the epitaph. If you discover the gold, I shall return everything to you. Tonight, I ask that you enjoy your battle of wits with Kinzo-sama to the fullest. I sincerely pray that this night will be both intellectual and elegant. Beatrice the Golden.
Father, I know you can hear me. Please respond.
Dora Kinzo's sleigh was being violently beaten again, over and over again, like a percussion instrument. The screams coming from the other side were Krause's, Rudolph's, and sometimes Ava's voices. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind that mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating. An elegant tablecloth was set out over the desk, and the fabulous dinner that had colored the table down the dining hall was once again laid out. Kinzo continued to eat his meal in silence. Shannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortably between the door being beaten and on Kinzo's face.
Everyone is calling for you, but what would you like me to do?
Leave it. God values silence, and so do I during dinner.
Should I silence them?
Mm-hmm.
There is no need. It does not even reach my ears. Kinzo coolly tasted his food. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Cannon, who stood in reserve like a shadow behind and to the side of Genji, opened his mouth.
Maria-sama seems to have received a letter from Beatrice-sama, so I assume they want to verify its authenticity.
That daredevil! She has started already! Come, Beatrice. There's nothing lacking in the coins that have been wagered. Shall we enjoy this night to the fullest? I have no intention of losing. Your smile is mine for all eternity. If I could see it one more time, I wouldn't regret losing my wealth, my honor, or even my life. Well then, the roulette has begun to spin. Which pocket will the ball fall into? Noir, Rouge, or House takes all? Come, you may begin. Beatrice! I'll show you the power of miracles once more! Last break now. There we go.
Dab.
How did you know? Oh wait, yeah, you read this before.
Shout out to Luck Gonrick, he makes fucking bops.
Are we gonna keep on going?
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
We only got through
Alright.
one chapter, goddamn.
Yeah.
The strange
These
letter
are
that the
long
witch...
chapters.
The strange letter the witch had entrusted Maria with had wiped all memories of dinner from our minds. We had been repeatedly barraged with questions by Auntie Rosa and the other parents, and was now in the worst of tempers because no one would believe her. Even when we kids tried to talk to her, she would just ignore us. Our parents were all stirred up over the gold, firing back and forth about the distribution of the assets, and we forgetting that we children were even there. Even though I already figured out they had been talking about this in the shadows. I thought they'd actually be this blunt about it. At least to us kids, it was a considerable shock. For what we could overhear, all of our parents wanted as much money as possible and as soon as possible. Back and forth around about grandfather's inheritance. Back and forth about the distribution of the gold as if it was found. about advance payments in cash. It was so despicable I couldn't bear to watch, even though one of them was my dad. Looked like Jessica felt the same way. Left our seats, although no one had asked us to leave, and we went to hang out somewhere apart from the parents.
I see. Now I really understand why grandfather didn't want to show his face during meals. I'm so disillusioned with our parents right now! The money, the inheritance... How could they act like that right out in the open?
Well, I'm already completely disillusioned with the old bastard. There's
Wow.
no way I could think any worse of him. Hehehe.
Tell us how you really feel. And you think I'm not? But even so, that freaking shocked me. Shocked me to the bottom of my heart.
Jessica looked down at the floor, irritated. She was always talking about how bad her parents were. Maybe she hadn't really felt that way deep inside. I could realize that from the depths of Jessica's shock.
You're both minors and still being brought up by your parents, so you might not understand. But getting money is neither a simple nor a pretty thing. You are still minors, so I won't try to force you to understand right now. But still, I'd like you to realize that your parents are just doing their best in their own way.
Oh, great. George Anaki's gotten all mature.
I know that you're working hard as a full-fledged member of society and everything. But does that mean that when the conversation turns to money and assets and stuff, you're capable of turning into a shameless, greedy vulture like our dads?
Oh, Jesus.
If it would just be about me, then no, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
However, when your family and your employees, your subordinates, and their families are all counting on you, there are some times where you must fight.
I hate that kind of fight. That back and forth about grandfather's inheritance, it just makes me want to puke. Blech.
Jessica pretended to spit violently. That harsh reaction made the depths of her pain very clear. Let's stop talking about this. All this about grandfather's hidden gold, about property and inheritance, is our parents' problem, not ours.
I agree. At the very least, I think that's being considerate and staying out of the parents' way when they are talking is the duty of their children.
Where's the fun in that?
Everyone knows the phase adults are filthy.
Word.
But we had now seen that for ourselves, and that really did give us a shock. Joe Janaki was now pretty much an adult, and I'd already been disillusioned with my dad in the first place, so the shock wasn't that big for us. But it looked like it was different from Jessica. It looked like the shock that Jessica received was even bigger than I had thought. This girl. I was talking badly about her parents, but looked like she hadn't changed at all on the inside since long ago. Even now, she was still a pure-hearted and delicate person who couldn't doubt others. I'm sure she respected her parents as much as anyone else does. And then her parents started joining in with all the other parents right in front of the children. Going, money, money, inheritance, inheritance, my money! So it was no surprise the shock of hearing that was so big.
Jessica-chan, please don't start hating your mother and father.
Start?
I won't ask you to understand them, but at least don't hate them.
I get it, just leave me alone a bit. Ugh.
6 years ago, I would have further taunted the dejected Jessica. But even I had grown up over the past 6 years. I realized that it would be better to leave Jessica as she was right now. Jessica suddenly looked away sulkingly and left the parlor. She probably wanted to be left alone right now. I did nothing but wordlessly watch her back as she left.
Come to think of it, I wonder where Maria-chan went.
She's probably still huddling up on the floor in front of the portrait. Maria, who truly looked up to witches, expected that coming in direct contact with Beatrice and receiving the letter as proof would be an event that would surprise everyone and make them happy. However, the adults had doubted its authenticity, had not taken Maria's story at face value, and thoroughly bombarded her with questions. Even I didn't find it hard to imagine how much that must have hurt Maria. We couldn't speak to either Maria or Jessica. In the end, George, Aniki, and I just abandoned ourselves to the sound of the falling rain on that dark night.
I wonder what's happening with that typhoon.
Sounds pretty wet to me, if I'm gonna be honest.
True. Maybe there's some news.
Have you looked outside a window recently?
Man, that sounds like a small blonde girl crying and being abused outside there.
He's like a brunette, isn't she? Is Jessica
I'm talking
getting
about
abused
Satoko.
now? Oh.
I'm talking about Satoko.
Oh, Jesus. George Aniki walked over to the corner of the parlor where the television was. He hadn't called me over, and I couldn't really have cared less where the typhoon was on the scene now. So I didn't go over to the television, but instead I loitered around the window.
The wind hasn't picked up much here, but I wonder if it's horrible over the sea. I did hear from the weather report that there was a severe storm warning.
Ah, Kirie-san. How's it going with you adults? Lots to talk about? Look as she caught the sarcasm. Kirie-san shrugged.
That stomachache of a discussion could continue all night. It's very tiring.
Well, all I can say is I hope you enjoy playing vultures to grandfather's property to your heart's content. It's disgusting.
I'll agree with you on that. If I could just slip away like you, I would do it. Unfortunately, I can't. Even if I'm not allowed to speak. It's not easy being a partner, you know.
Kirie-san sighed, smiling bitterly. Well, yeah.
Wait, didn't she just sneak away right now?
Yeah. You probably won't let Kirie-san, who's married into the family, speak. Still, as Dad's partner, she has no choice but to stay by his side and support him. Being on the line of fire, she must be having to bear for the far greater mental pressure than me. I wasn't going to apologize, but realizing that I had spoken too harshly, I cut the sarcasm for the time being. So, how's it look? Still stuck on the topic of the mysterious witch, Beatrice?
More or less. They've been piling up secret agreements for some time, hoping for some kind of agreement between the four of them on the distribution of grandfather's inheritance after his death.
That's a lot of words.
And now some unknown fifth person has appeared to make things even more complicated, so there's no way that'll make for a peaceful conversation. Unfortunately, one moment they're snarling at each other, the next they'll set up a common front. Natsuhine-san's not the only one getting headaches.
On one hand, they all wanted a larger portion of the other siblings. They were all rivals. But on the other hand, they didn't want 1 yen to be snatched up by anyone other than the siblings, so they were all allies. I couldn't get her to tell me the details, but they were apparently arguing on and on about the ceasefire agreement and rules to prevent anyone from getting ahead. Situation under which their positions would be protected and what legal measures would be taken in the worst case scenario. By this point, my emotions had shot straight past disgust. I perceived them as a force to be reckoned with. So, basically, Beatrice is like a saboteur sent by grandfather. Probably wanted to scare the hell out of his children for just talking about the distribution of the inheritance without him.
Who is this Beatrice, I wonder? If she is who she says she is, then she's a mystery that no one knew about until today. And she also knows about the existence of grandfather's hidden gold. Furthermore, she was even entrusted with the head's ring. She must truly have been trusted by him.
Well, obviously I don't think that she's a witch riding around on a broom.
Hey!
But she's surely a person mysterious enough to merit being called a witch.
I just hope Maria-chan will go more into detail about that. Even though she's just a little girl, everyone has been just chewing her up over this. They really scared her, and now we can't even ask her things she might have answered. I wonder if those people have ever even read The North Wind and the Sun.
What is for certain is that Maria received a letter from a person who took the name Beatrice. trusting Maria with a letter and hiding away even now, when she could have just appeared and talked to us directly. She sure is shy for a mystery person.
Hey, Badler-kun. Do you think that someone called Beatrice actually exists?
Who knows? Probably just a false name, right? Like she's grandfather's representative, so she was printed to take the name of the witch from his delusions.
No, that's not what I meant. Right now, there are a total of 18 people here on Rokenjima. Do you think that there is a 19th person?
Are there really a whole 18 people on this island? Wondering about that, I began counting on my fingers, and it really did come out to 18 people. Do I think a 19th person exists, you say? What exactly do you mean?
Just what I said. It looks like the person who lent Maria that umbrella was not one of us 18. Therefore, it isn't reasonable to think that a 19th person exists, and that this was the person who lent Maria the umbrella.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Then where exactly is this person now? At the very least, she must have been on the island when it started raining. And since that time, the weather has become progressively worse, so taking a boat out would be pretty much impossible. In that case, that person must still be on the island hiding from the rain somewhere. And without being spotted by any of us.
Certainly all of us have been randomly prowling around all over the mansion and the guest house, but no one has bumped into a 19th person. Even so, this island is huge. Maybe other places to hide from the rain outside the mansion and the guest house. At about this time, I began to realize what direction Kirie-san's doubt were taking us in. Kirie-san was denying that a 19th person existed. Beatrice was one of us 18. Another wish that someone we knew was using her name.
If Beatrice really was as she described herself, this person would definitely be the most honored of guests. The most honored of confidants, trusted by grandfather. There's no way the grandfather wouldn't give that kind of person a warm reception. She would surely have been ushered into the mansion. However, we haven't seen anyone.
Wait a second. Is that line of reasoning a little too hasty? Yeah, no one spotted them, but that doesn't mean you can't deny the possibility that a 19th person exists, right? Maybe, for some reason, they headed onto the island stealthily and have been hiding ever since. What they call the devil's proof. These are proof that something exists. If this Beatrice appears in front of us all and says hi and then everything is resolved, that's a possible proof that there is no 19th person.
Yes. Badler-kun, your way of reasoning isn't bad. In the current situation, there's not enough information to either accept that a 19th person exists or deny it. But if you flip over the chessboard and think of it that way, we can be nearly sure that the existence of a 19th person is impossible.
Flip over the God damn it, they fucked up that too!
What was it supposed to be?
Turn the chessboard around!
I thought it was spinning the chessboard
Spin
around.
the chessboard around.
Yeah, they
Flip
fucked
over
this
the
up. What the
chessboard.
fuck?
God damn it!
Okay, so it's supposed to be spin the board around.
It's supposed to be spin the chessboard around.
If you flip the chessboard.
Wait, why can't we use the old translation?
I swear to God, I thought I had the script in for. Oh, here. Hold on a second. Everyone, look away. I'm gonna go change settings real quick. Witch hunt. There we go. All right, here.
Restart it.
Yeah, you know what? Here we're gonna do a little bit of a pro gamer move real quick. Game file verification. I broke it. No.
What do you mean you want to use the superior translations? No, we're gonna break the game now. You gotta use our shitty one.
This will take several minutes. It doesn't actually take that long. Don't worry. What do you mean fail?
They won't let us use the witch hunt.
Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. It's fine. We're good. Oh no, is it gonna fucking? Oh Jesus Christ!
We lose our progress.
No, it's not that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, good. All right. No!
We lost it, didn't we?
We fucking lost it!
Alright, so, we're gonna have some fun speeding through.
Orange, did we actually lose the save?
Yeah, all the save files are gone.
Motion sickness will be real in 5 minutes.
You look like your father, you look like your daughter.
That's not motion sickness. That's not motion sickness. That's a fucking earth.
Rose Garden
More like
stuff.
Rosa
Let's
Garden.
fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Best boy. Hey.
My name is
Garden
Drew.
too small.
I'm the white one.
Go to stop flash stepping everywhere. You're scaring me. Molest me not.
That though.
Spin the chessboard
Spin the
around.
chessboard around.
There you
One
go.
of Kyrie's
Yeah.
favorite phrases.
Are you happy now,
I've been
Orange?
influenced by
Yes, we are
I
all-
am. This was very much worth it.
Yeah, this
I've been influenced-
translation is like vastly superior.
Meh, take your word for it.
I've
Bada
been
bing.
influenced by these words and use them myself from time to time. I need to start trying to find a move in chess or shogi. Then by spinning the board around and looking at everything from your opponent's standpoint, you'll have to see a strategy that'll give you the upper hand. It means turning things around and putting yourself in your opponent's shoes.
You see? Let's say that a 19th person called Beatrice actually exists. That person must have managed without being seen by anyone to stealthily arrive on this island and remain hidden ever since. Maybe they had some reason, okay? In that case, why did they go to all of the trouble of appearing before Maria and handing her the letter?
It really was a contradiction. If they had some reason for hiding themselves, they should have stayed hidden the whole time. But even so, they had appeared openly in front of Maria. Then, wait. Maria said it herself. Said that the witch made her a messenger. A messenger. Maybe that's because Maria was the youngest and looked the most obedient.
Why would they need a messenger? If they just wanted a letter delivered to the family conference, they could have mailed it. If they mailed it to each of the 4 siblings, no one would be able to ignore it. There was no need for this person to carry it themselves and secretly deliver it by hand.
And so that really does sound pretty weird.
In the first place, if Beatrice existed and wanted to make her presence known to everyone, then she could have just openly presented herself to all of us. Despite that, she chose the vague method of appearing through a little girl called Maria-chan, and only gave us a vague impression of who she was. Contradiction. Let's go a little deeper, shall we? This is where we were. She appeared in front of Maria, trying to give us the impression that a 19th person existed. And yet, she still hasn't appeared before us and is hiding somewhere at this very moment. Think about those contradictions. You've got to keep these things in mind when you spin the chessboard around. In short, if a person wants to leave us with the impression that Beatrice exists as the 19th person, what might be their goal?
If this person wanted to hide, then they wouldn't have made their presence known. If they wanted to show themselves, they wouldn't have used the roundabout approach of entrusting someone with a letter. Which means...
It's simple. Beatrice is one of the 18 people. That's why they wanted to create an illusion that there are more than 18 people. The 19th person was revealed so spectacularly. If someone were to profit from this, it wouldn't be some 19th person in hiding. It'd be one of the original 18 people. Of course, this reasoning is full of holes. If you turn over even a few of its premises, it'll simply fall apart. But I'm almost completely certain it's correct.
This is starting to feel pretty creepy. Someone let Maria an umbrella and handed her the letter. Supposedly none of the 18 did this. And yet, Beatrice was hidden among those 18. What was this person planning? Finding their true form pretending to be Beatrice.
I suspected it might have been Maria-chan play acting, but the contents of the message were extremely complicated, and it's hard to imagine Maria-chan writing that herself. However, I can't deny the possibility that Maria-chan is working together with someone.
Wait a sec. Maria's a 9-year-old kid, right? What could she possibly be planning with? And whom? Who could she possibly be planning with? And what about her straightforward, overly honest, obedient nature?
Yes, I also understand what kind of person Maria-chan is. But that's exactly why I think it's possible. That girl's a dreamer who can't help but look up to and blindly accept the existence of witches. So if a person appeared in front of her and claimed to be the witch Beatrice, Maria-chan would happily swallow it up, I think.
So you're saying that if someone disguised themselves by wearing that fancy dress from the portrait, tricking Maria wouldn't be that hard?
Of course, with that reasoning, all of us women would become the primary suspects. Anyway, who did Maria-chan encounter? Learning the details of that question would be the best key to solving this riddle. But this key has been firmly locked away inside Maria-chan's heart. Everyone denied the existence of the witch without listening to her, barraging her too much with questions about who Beatrice actually was. She probably won't open her heart to the adults now.
In the dim hall in front of the portrait of Beatrice, Maria was sobbing.
Sorry, taking notes. No one believes I met Beatrice. You know, I showed them the letter Beatrice gave me. They still don't believe me.
Anyway, Maria-chan's holding the key. The key to whether Beatrice is one of the 18 people or a 19th person.
Maria's stubborn, right? When that girl gets angry, it's pretty hard to make her feel better.
Battler-kun, I think a kid like you would be better at cheering her up than an adult like me. After she's feeling better, try asking. I know you don't care about all this back and forth about the inheritance. But don't you find this Western Mansion mystery situation exciting? Who in the world is this person who gave Maria-chan the letter? It makes your intellectual curiosity ache.
There's something else aching. You're actually pretty tough. Thing you're still excited about being dragged through this endless money talk. Adults can be pretty amazing. I shrugged exasperatedly. But I did notice something. Curie had noticed how dejected I was after overhearing our parents' turbulent discussion. Probably trying to clear the air. At the very least, I'd recovered enough to voice my complaints. She wasn't my real mother, but I never felt like calling her mom. But it did make me think that she's a real adult.
Hey, brats, so this is where you were.
God damn it.
Kyrie, you really took your time fixing your makeup, didn't you? Think I'll make a habit of going out to touch up my makeup, too.
I'm sorry. A woman's makeup takes a long time. So, how's the discussion been without me? Hopefully fruitful.
I'm sure everything was all peaceful and harmonious. Kira-san poked the weak spot into my arm with her elbow.
We decided to take a break to cool our heads a little. It looks like we'll all be at it all night. Makes me want to cry.
His way of talking hasn't changed, but he couldn't completely hide his fatigue. I couldn't say I was sympathetic, but he looked pitiful compared to his normal, energetic self.
Still, that rain's just awful. I really don't want to go back to the guest house. It looks like Natsuhine-san set things up so we could spend the night here in the mansion. What'll we do?
We don't need to decide until you're done, right? If you run so low on energy that you can't return to your room, then maybe we can take them up on their offer.
You're right. We can think about it later. What about you, Battler?
If I stayed, I'd just get in the way. I'll be nice and go back over there.
I see. Will you go back soon?
I don't know. It'd be lonely to head back by myself. I'll gather all the kids and we'll head out.
Okay. You go do that. Also, Battler, you won't be going to sleep that evening, right?
Yeah. Probably up talking with the cousins. Sounds like we'll be up all night. Is there a problem with that?
I see. If you're still awake when the adults' discussion is over, I want to have a little talk as a family.
A what? That doesn't sound like you. Apparently Curious I was thinking the same thing. What are you talking about? She asked him in a small voice. Look, Curious didn't have a clue what Dad meant either.
I also want to talk to you about it, Kyrie. I'll tell you later, so don't ask now. Please.
Well, just continue to gaslight me, will you?
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. the three tenets.
Alright.
I don't know anyone neglects the concept of family as much as the old bastard. Nice saying you were gonna have a talk as a family? Both Kyrie-san and I couldn't help but get wide-eyed.
Don't look so terrified. I'm the one who should be terrified. After all.
At that point, he swallowed his words for an instant. Even though putting on airs of importance wasn't much like my dad. You're freaking me out, Dad. Everyone in our family's gathered here now, right? You make a big deal out of it and spit it all out.
Please do.
I will probably be killed.
There was a huge crash of thunder. It must have been really close. Dad's expression, brightly illuminated by the lightning, was burned into my eyes. Dad's face, which always looked so sure of itself, and which always wore a taunting expression, was strangely frail in a way I couldn't really explain. It was so worn out that it looked like a different person. What? What are you talking about? Doesn't sound like you at all.
I agree. What happened? You look so timid all of a sudden. It's not like you.
I'm gonna go fix my makeup too. Don't follow me.
Dad turned away, weakly. After that, only Kyrie and I were left, still wide-eyed. What did he say? Tonight, he'll be killed? You don't think that mysterious letter scared him, did you? He's been watching too many serial murder movies. Kyrie-san didn't answer my light-hearted words and continued to stare at my dad's disappearing back.
Battler-kun, when you told Rudolph-san to spill the beans right away, he left without telling us anything. Even though he said he had something to say to both of us, he didn't answer you. Why? Spin the chessboard around. What do you see?
Well, when he said he wanted to talk, but then couldn't, that's a contradiction. What? Can you see something by looking from Dad's perspective?
Yes, I can see something. He wants to talk about something. However, he doesn't have the courage to bring it up. So he actually means chase after me, talk to me, and ask me about it yourself. By saying don't follow me, he actually means the opposite. He actually means follow me and force me to answer. Seriously, what a spoiled brat.
What? Can you really call that reasoning?
No, it's called feminine intuition. And being married to your father.
Hashtag femdom. That's ridiculous.
She's your mother, Battler. Christ.
Dad,
She isn't
Mom.
by blood.
I'm saying that to you,
Dad,
the reader,
Mom.
not me.
Can great
Not
private
mom by
and
blood.
police detectives Can great private and police detectives deduce the emotions and feelings between men and women? They can't, right? Figuring out the feelings of the opposite sex is an even more advanced art than exposing the tricks in difficult crime cases. If you ask me, romance novels have much deeper mysteries than masterpiece mystery novels.
I see. Is that how it is?
I'll stand alongside that spoiled brat. He normally loves to bluff, but tonight he's completely tired out from that heated discussion. He probably wants someone to lean on at the moment. And responding to that is the role of his partner.
Ha! Sounds passionate. And I'll leave the old bastard in your hands.
Yes, leave it to me.
I call that Takiri's departing back. Eh?
Huh?
Oh, fuck.
What?
I wanted to say thanks. Oh, fuck! No!
Why do you keep doing that?
It's very finicky. Like, I just kind of, like, slightly adjust my fucking, my wheel. It just goes. Thanks to you, my gloomy mood has cleared up a lot.
That's good. Communication is important.
After answering her with a wink, Kirie-san follows her dad. Natsuhi could be found in a dimly lit hallway. Now then, the thunder would crash, but this had no effect on Natsuhi's expression. She looked completely worn out. Discussion that had just taken place between the relatives in the dining hall was repeating itself inside Natsuhi's mind. Beatrice had proclaimed that in addition to the gold, all of the inheritance and property of the Ashurmia family would be given to the person who could solve the riddle. In other words, she planned to undermine the absolute guarantee that Kraus, as the oldest brother, had to succeed the family head. Originally, the other siblings had absolutely no chance to inherit the headship. To them, this proposal by Beatrice was extremely desirable. It was obvious that they would accept it. Nah. There was no need to play some clumsy detective game. Natsuhi knew that this so-called 19th person, Beatrice, couldn't exist. Also, aside, I'm glad they fucking fixed it so Beatrice isn't in all caps all the time. That was really silly. Naturally, Beatrice's head was nothing more than a fictional character used to pass a message that Kinzo had written himself. As proof, Kinzo remained stubbornly neutral as to the letter's authenticity. He was completely ignoring the reckless claims that he shouldn't be able to ignore. That he had given up the head's ring. In short, Kinzo wordlessly admitted that the letter had held its own message. Most likely, one of the servants had given Maria the letter. Kinzo probably worked on an elaborate plan where the dress from the portrait would be prepared. And someone, probably Shannon, would be made to wear and deliver the letter in the umbrella. By doing that, he could make it seem like the witch from the portrait actually existed. No, if anything, that alone was proof that Kinzo was behind all this. In that case, it was the same as Kinzo trying to butt in on the siblings' private discussion. Then, Kinzo, by announcing that he had given everything to the person who solved the riddle, could weaken Kraus's overwhelming advantage. Now it was certain. Kinzo had eavesdropped on the siblings' discussion on the parlor earlier that day, so he had known that how Kraus had staved off the attack by the other three. And to make the scales of the battle go back into balance, he sent out the strange letter which benefited Kraus's rivals.
Hmm.
He was trying to push this crazy theory so that Rosa, who had a weak position among the siblings because of her age, would join with Ava and Rudolph. Then with a 3-to-1 advantage, they'd be able to overwhelm Kraus yet again and make the ridiculous theories get accepted by force. And by doing that, he gave them the power to resettle what had once been a nearly decided conflict. They had now started repeatedly pressing Kraus to pay them a large amount of money. He used the condition that all the siblings would guarantee Kraus' possession of the successor. Talk about advanced payments was being brought up again, despite having been rejected once. Of course, even without the story about the hidden gold, the Ashumi family's store of wealth was vast. That store of wealth alone was more than enough. Even if the hidden gold was buried forever along with Kinzo's death, there would be more than enough to satisfy. Therefore, even if they weren't interested in the gold itself, Kinzo had managed to instill the lifelong fear that, on the off chance that someone found the gold, that person would be granted the headship. And this kind of Achilles heel would definitely be taken advantage of by someone sooner or later. The only person with this fatal weakness was the successor, Kraus. The other siblings had found. No, they had been told by Kinzo about something that only Kraus could lose, and they had thoroughly taken advantage of that. Natsuhi, as Kraus' only ally in his painful position, and his wife, wanted to fight alongside him. She kept trying to explain to him the existence of the gold itself was a farce and that there was no need for him to compromise. Kraus always told Natsuhi, he had told all the siblings. He always said that the hidden gold was nothing more than an illusion created by Kinzo. Therefore, Natsuhi had believed that as his wife and had supported her husband on that foundation. Even so, Natsuhi's words didn't reach Kraus. Even though Natsuhi had fought so hard and lent all of her strength, he continued to fight by himself and was trying to compromise with the other three siblings. Natsuhi sadly and weakly wondered why she could not be of use to him, and started getting angry. It happened when everyone decided to take a short break and cool their heads. Natsuhi had flared up against Kraus. Enraged, she had asked why she could not be useful to him. He had then told her that he wanted to talk about something, and invited her into a room that she would normally not be allowed to enter. The room had been sealed with a heavy-looking padlock, and just looking at it had given her an uncomfortable feeling.
There's no need for you to worry about anything said by those three, or even this suspicious person who calls herself Beatrice. After all, the gold is just a ruse created by Father. There's no way something like that could be found. Your position as the successor is a solid fact. What are you afraid of?
Kraus moved the padlock on the door. He then motioned for Natsuhi to enter.
Enter.
I've seen enough anime to know where this is going.
Oh no.
This is my playroom, Natsuki.
What is this?
There's something I want you to see. I've never shown you this before.
Is it?
It's just like that book I read!
Natsuhi timidly opened the door with a dubious expression on her face. It was pitch black. She searched for the switch to turn on the lights, but since this was her first time in the room, didn't know where it was. Kraus entered behind her, pushing her in. When he closed the door before turning on the lights, the two were swallowed up by the darkness. The sound of Kraus locking the door rang out through the dark.
What are you doing? The lights!
I'm turning them on now. Wait.
As he said, when Kraus pushed the switch on the wall, a flickering light turned on and lit up the room.
That is...
Natsuhi had her breath taken away. The room had no windows, and at a glance it appeared to be empty. In the middle of the room, a small round table had been set, and all the lights brightened only on that table, as if it was leading the part in a play. On top of the table, a red tablecloth of elaborate design had been set out, covered with dust. And on top of that, something about the size of a grown man's arm had been set down. That something took Natsuhi's breath away.
It's a gold ingot of incredible purity. Without this, no one would have believed in the legend of the gold.
It was an ingot of solid gold. Even in the faint of light, it sparkled with a noble and dignified gleam. Ooh.
This isn't a proper ingot. I don't even know whether it was cast inside or outside the country.
It took a high level of skill to make it the purest of solid gold ingots. In order to verify that purity, it was standard to have the original foundry and the name of the bank that guaranteed it imprinted on the gold. However, this ingot did not have that kind of seal. The mysterious bar had come from an unknown foundry.
Look here. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a bar of gold.
Natsuhi, following Krause's words, timidly approached the ingot.
Right there.
Krause pointed at the surface of the ingot. Natsuhi concentrated on that section. Right there was the thin imprint of the one-winged eagle crest. Natsuhi's breath was taken away once again.
That's right. This is the legendary ingot that Father said he received from the witch, that the president of Mariso witnessed and was allowed to select at random to take back with him. That gained the trust of the fixers in the business world. I had to use all possible means to find it.
I knew he was talking out his ass!
I found it before the other siblings could.
Oh, good. Then, the legend of Father's gold is...
It actually exists. The gold that Ushirimiya Kinzo received from Beatrice actually exists.
Impossible. So, it really does exist.
Natsuhi was shocked. Krause always said that the Kinzo's gold was just a fabrication. She had believed it as his wife. However, the reality was different. Since he held definitive proof, he had been more certain than any of the other siblings that the legend of the gold was true. Because of this, Krause was deeply frightened at the possibility that someone other than himself would find the gold he'd failed to find, costing him everything. But to Natsuhi, the truth is more than enough to split open her heart. She had thought that, as Krause's wife, she should be his closest confidant, which is why she had selflessly supported him. And yet, he hid this fact from her until today. Why?
Have I been so undeserving of your trust?
I didn't mean it like that. It was only that there was no need to mention it.
Is that all a wife means to you?
Calm down. Becoming passionate easily is one of your bad habits.
You're the one who's making me like that, aren't you? I've been supporting you as a wife ever since I married into this family. For your sake, I threw away the family I was born into, and I've been offering up my heart and my body to serve you. And in return, this is what I get? How could you?
Krause grimaced, looking annoyed. His expression effectively communicated how much he disliked this part of Natsuhi, even if he didn't say it out loud.
It doesn't look like I will be of any use to you anymore.
That's fine. I can resolve the troubles with the siblings by myself. I don't need your help.
That's wrong! This is the Ushirimiya family's problem! It's true that I am not permitted to wear the family crest on my body. But I am still your wife. Even so, Are you saying I'm not capable of helping you? Are you?
I especially wouldn't want to risk getting you involved. It would probably make your headaches even worse than they are now. Take a rest for today. The siblings will deal with the siblings' problems. It has nothing to do with you. That's all.
Adele had. I'm gonna go close the door real quick. Hold on a second.
Man, that door closing Umineko really got you in the mood to close some doors.
Fuck you, Zaz. You can't judge me when you have that fucking image of Natsui as your profile picture.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Nothing
I
bad.
think you and I.
What do you
I
mean?
think
What
you
do
and
you
I.
mean?
Also, I think we can all agree, fuck Kraus with a rusty screwdriver. Anyone? Anyone? Should go right up the butt.
Can
He
I be
does seem
honest?
smelly.
Can I be honest? Kraus is fucking my favorite parent.
A dull headache tormented Natsuhi. No matter what medicine she took, no matter what scents she burned, it wouldn't heal. In fact, simply wandering alone through the dark corridors and listening to the sound of the rain seemed to be a better cure.
I may be Natsuhi, but I was never Natsuhi. Ushiromiya Natsuhi. I've been despised and treated as a borrowed womb, and insulted when I couldn't even fill that role. Even so, I have tried to properly perform my duties as a wife. But now, even my husband has rejected me. I've done my best raising my daughter, as if it were the last job left to me. However, I've had no release for my anger and sadness, and they've caused me to subconsciously strain that relationship too. Because I've been excessively strict in Jessica's education, she dislikes me thoroughly. She despises me for having no interest in anything but grades. There is no longer anything I can do for the Yoshiromiya family. No, that's no good. Despite it all, I must help my husband and beat back the schemes of the other greedy siblings. I must. The family head won't be around much longer. Eventually, Kraus will succeed the head. And the next successor will be Jessica. Strictly speaking, the man who enters the family by marrying Jessica will become the next head. But it all comes to the same thing. I have to make Jessica an excellent successor, whom everyone will accept as worthy to take over the Yoshiromiya family. In the days to come, the greedy Yoshiromiya Eva will probably be plotting to find some fault within the main family. And if all goes as she plans, Jessica will be dragged down from the succession, with George set up in her place. It is regrettable, but George is a man, and even more, has matured as a person. Compared to Jessica, who is right in the middle of her rebellious period, his grades are slightly below average. It can be seen at a glance who is more fit to succeed the head. So in order to secure Jessica's position, I need to turn her into an excellent person. After doing that, I want to find her an excellent husband worthy of the excellent person she will have become. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jessica and stay with her through all of life's joys and sorrows.
Was Natsuhi trying to ensure her daughter was fulfilling some desire of her own? Trust. Natsuhi thought back to the days when she'd have no choice but to marry into the Yoshiromiya family, because of that unavoidable fate. To block that from her memory.
There's a word for this.
She had consciously forgotten it, and had actively attended to the life she'd been given as Yoshiromiya Natsuhi. In doing, she had built up a new life. Just now, felt like all that had been casually rejected.
How should I think as I live my life? I do not know.
Natsui helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. The glass was just cool thanks to the raindrops beating against it. Felt somehow refreshing, even though it should have been emotionless. Right then it seemed to be the only thing that could understand Natsui. At that point, even if someone had appeared, Natsui didn't intend to pay any attention to them. But she did pay attention, because it was her beloved daughter.
Oh, it's you, Mom. What the heck are you doing in a place like this? Thought you were a ghost.
Just like always, her words were rough and not at all like a girl's. Instinctively, words of rebuke rose to Natsuhi's throat. However, their strength gave out and didn't escape her lips.
Jessica. Forgive me, but my headache is awful. Please leave me be.
I see.
Jessica was seeing her mother in a position of feebleness for the first time. She was considerably disconcerted. Until just now, she'd been filled with the contempt for all of the parents, including her mother. But now those feelings had been completely swept away. Her mother's utterly exhausted face had wiped them all out. It is in this place. The words George had told her floated back up into her mind. Our parents are doing their best in their own way. And because their families are counting on them, they can't afford to keep everything pleasant. They have a heavy responsibility to fight. Her mother had been standing around in the dimly lit hallway, because no one had tried to understand that in her. Jessica hated her mother. So she had no intention of speaking kindly to Natsuhi just because she was looking a bit frail. So when she attempted to speak kindly to her mother anyway, she had to clench her fists and gather up the words from deep in her heart.
Bless you, Riri. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, my dog sneezed. It sounds like you've really got your hands full with that meeting thing.
It has nothing to do with you. Please go somewhere else.
Is your headache bad? Should I go get some medicine?
You don't have to trouble yourself. Please, leave me alone.
Natsuhi wasn't being cold. She just wanted her daughter to go far away that she wouldn't have to bump against Natsuhi's own short temper. But there was no chance that Jessica would realize this.
Okay.
Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Seeing that expression, Natsuhi recognized that the kindness that Jessica was trying to muster. She gave her head a small shake to drive away her own unkind feelings.
Then I'll leave. I'll be with the other cousins, so I won't get in the way of the adults. See you later.
Wait there.
She called Jessica, who was trying to leave and looked lonely, into a stop.
What?
Thank you for being so considerate. It isn't good of me to go to sleep and leave you alone.
Don't talk like that. You'll bring bad luck.
I've made you worry. But I'm okay now. I will go. If I let my daughter see me this feeble any longer, it'll only make her feel more uneasy.
With that thought in mind, Natsuhi left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. This time, Jessica called out to her mother's back. Natsuhi stopped and turned around, asking what business Jessica had with her. Jessica herself didn't know why she'd stopped her mother. For a while, she smiled wryly, muttering to herself as she hesitated over what to say. Putting her in her pockets when her hand touched something and she took it out.
Hey, Mom! I, was given a charm today. What was it? A charm against magic? I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to hang it from your doorknob. I think. I forget. There's no point in me having it, so I'll let you take it.
It was the scorpion charm that Maria had given her on the beach. It showed of the various effects for Maria. Jessica's mind had gone blank, and she was just barely able to say even that much. Jessica, thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept it anyway, immediately drew back the hand she had stuck out, grasping the charm. When Natsuki came back to take it, she was extremely shocked.
What is this? Some kind of prize toy?
Well, I think it's something like that. I guess you wouldn't really expect a charm that looks like a toy to do anything.
But her mother took the charm from her when she grasped it in her hand.
Thank you. I'll take good care of it. Sometime soon, in exchange, why don't I give you a charm that was important to me when I was a child?
It's not like that's why I gave it to you. But, well, if you really say so.
Then I will rest for now. My headache is awful. Try not to stay up too late.
Sure.
Natsuki put the charm in her pocket and turned away. She then disappeared into the dark hall.
That was actually a really sweet moment.
Oh geez, it's still going?
Yes.
Do we want to call it here?
This seems like it'd probably be a good point
guys,
to stop.
I'm
gonna
It's
work
getting pretty late.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we lost.
I love how it's like,
Yeah.
it's been a while since George. I should probably just turn on push to talk. And then the moment I go to do that and turn off voice activity, George appears.
But if we want to field any questions from people, that's
Yeah, do we
also
want to
an
do that?
option.
Good, because I got some.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
Let's see here. I was listening deeper into Kyrie's talk and everything, and I think her theory actually does hold some truth in at least a little degree of it.
Okay.
There are 18 people on Rokenjima. And of course, Beatrice being Beatrice. Whatever, listen now. Suck it, bitches. I sound like Solace. Not the point. Point is, she really is trying to make herself seem like a 19th member of the island. But this is the new theory I'm thinking of. What if she's actually unknowing possessing one of the people on the island or in the family, but they're unknowing of it?
I mean, Maria would be the prime candidate for that.
Except that wouldn't make any sense, because Maria was given the invitation and the umbrella.
She could have just lied about
I mean,
it.
yeah, she is her envoy. She wants her to be treated properly.
If I may ask, if I can clear up,
problem-
'cause if I'm a little confused, you're saying like Beatrice is like was it
Beatrice
possessing
chose
someone?
her to deliver the message,
Yes.
and then also gave her the umbrella so that she would like consider herself in her protection in a way.
Messenger.
Or Beatrice just saw a kid out in the rain and figured, hey, if I have an umbrella and I have a spare, I'll go ahead and give this poor kid an umbrella.
Wait a second, Beatrice was like the Super Rika from the end of Higurashi, right?
No, what are you talking about?
Wait. He's thinking of Frederica.
Frederica, no.
Frederica, no,
You're
it's someone
thinking of
else.
someone else. And what I mean is,
Picture of what Beatrice looks like.
it's sort of like how a ghost or a spirit would randomly attach itself to you. Or like how you'd have a separate personality. You wouldn't know what the hell you were doing until somebody actually told you what happened. It could make sense. It could make sense that somebody else on the island actually is harboring Beatrice's spirit.
I was gonna say,
Personally,
why
what
not Maria?
sorry.
There you go.
Mucus.
Personally, what I think is, considering Hanyu was fucking real, I think Beatrice is fucking real too.
I'm willing to believe that, but it seems some conditions here are very different.
But I mean, like, one thing I will point out from Higurashi is that Hanyu seemed to be almost like the only like supernatural element to that. Almost.
Yeah, but if you will recall, it took a while for Hanyu to actually be seen and heard by everybody. And that was only because she finally stopped being a bystander and other people acknowledged her existence.
Wait, did they acknowledge her existence?
Yes, they did, in Chapter 7. And if it's
when they were spirits, they were like, "Hey, this is
By the
why
way,
we
Zaz,
didn't
you should
succeed
probably
because you
pop
weren't here
out.
to help us."
Zaz, you should probably
As
pop
they-
out.
As I... Sorry.
What? Huh?
No, Zaz should probably pop out because we are talking about Higurashi spoilers.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
It's
Oh,
fine.
let's-
It's not stuff that he doesn't already know from his own description.
Anyways, if it's one thing, that means somebody physical would have had to touch the ring that Kinzo tossed out into the storm.
I forgot he actually tossed that ring out in the storm.
How did you forget?
Do you have any idea of who it could have been?
The person who's harboring Beatrice's spirit. Or Beatrice could be physical. Either way, it's just another theory that I have stacked up here. I also have a minor note in here. Natsuki always looks like she has resting bitch face.
That's what she does.
Well, like, no one's pointed out the most important detail, which is that her fucking titties are stretching the fabrics of her shirt.
Jesus Christ.
I also have that in here, actually.
Are you saying there's a MILF alert?
Yes, I've yelled MILF alert for Natsui.
I'm also really thinking that maybe the servants believe in Beatrice more than the people who are actually in the actual family.
I can see that.
Well,
There
the
was
family doesn't really believe in it except for Maria at all.
I mean, like, the servants are kind of like, what is it? Kinzo trusts Genji more than fucking his blood relatives, so, like...
Which is honestly a better idea when you think about it. Sometimes your own family can get really unnerving and really disgusting, so the best thing you can do is just rely on people who are close enough as family to you.
And that you're paying.
Okay, wow. Way to expose that.
Is Genji getting paid?
I imagine these people are probably making at least some money.
It would be illegal for them not to.
Plus, Canon doesn't seem to reject the idea of Beatrice. In fact, it seems like he's almost afraid of it. Well, whenever he was looking out of the garden, he said it felt like it was looking into the witch's eyes, and it felt like he was being absorbed. That's not talk of somebody who just believes.
I suppose.
There was also more talk about coins being wagered.
Coins?
Hinzo said that there were more coins being wagered, and he referred to this as not a game of chance, but as a game of roulette. And I know how roulette works, not because I've ever betted on it, which thank God I never did, because Jesus, roulette is needlessly complicated.
It's also very difficult to win at.
It is.
Unless you play it the
Well,
right
it's a
way.
game of- It's a game of incredible. It's a game of incredible odds. Which
Alright,
means
I'm about to pass out, so I'm just gonna say
Gonna
goodnight.
tap out here?
I'll
Alright,
see you
see you
guys.
Sorry, should I stop?
No, you keep going.
No, you keep going. I'm
You keep
leaving.
going.
We're being recorded, so it's fine.
I'm leaving. You keep going. That's how this works. Good night.
Okay. Anyway, the way roulette works is that you can't only just bet on the colors, you also bet on the specific numbers. Which means your odds of winning increase the more ways you bet on things. The problem with that is, if you put everything in one specific number or color, or in one or both, like say if you decided to just bet on 14 black, the only chance you'd have to win is if you were in there. But if you bet on the number 14 and on the color black itself without any specific indicators, you'd have a twice as higher chance of winning. Meaning Kinzo's got some long-term betting plans for this.
Huh.
Which
Yeah.
means he's doing the same thing Rika was doing. Rika probably didn't have an understanding or inclination of what roulette was, but she was doing the same thing with her powers and her abilities and her chances of getting the good timeline that she desired.
Do you think,
Kinzo's probably doing the same thing, so he can go ahead and get all of his belongings with Beatrice.
So
Or
you
he's
think-
just super hard simping and wanting her to sit on his face.
So would you say that, what was it? you think like you think maybe Kinzo has like a similar thing to Rika where he might be like identifying like maybe fragments or something like that?
It could be a possibility, but it feels more like Kinzo's trying to bet on the right side and the right point. If he can, then it would explain all of the other points, but again, that's just a theory. I'm also finding it interesting that Beatrice was referred to in herself as the family alchemist.
If that even is Beatrice.
Well, I mean, like, they made it clear that like the woman in the blonde, what was it? The woman in the painting is obviously Beatrice, right?
Yep.
So like, unless like Kenzo got Keiichi's dad to draw a really hot anime girl, like there's probably something based off of it.
I also just find it interesting that a witch called herself a family alchemist, meaning she actually did alchemize that gold.
So you're saying that Beatrice had created the gold herself and given it to Kinzo?
It would probably be best to obtain that. 99% proof gold doesn't exist. Not to mention, there are failed times where alchemists tried to go ahead and engineer gold. Maybe Kinzo at one point also tried to do the same thing and ended up failing dramatically. I don't know, anybody else want to go ahead and spitball on this?
If I may ask a question, back to the like, how many people are on Rokenjima at the current time? Do you think it's what's your personal opinion? How many people do you think are on the island?
I want to say technically there could be 18. Technically there could be 19. But that's only if Beatrice is actually physical. It could still be 19 with Beatrice's spirit and harboring another person. Sorry, Beatrice harboring... Bleh. Beatrice's spirit being hidden within somebody's body. There we go. Finally got it out.
So you think Beatrice might be possessing
Meaning it's still 19. However, either way, there would still be 19 people. At least in my opinion.
Wait, so how many do we think, how many, like, just from our current observation, are there again, without Beatrice? Like, what number of people?
Well, I think, what was it? There's you count them off and I'll say the names. There's Shannon and Cannon, Genji, Kumasawa, Goda. There's then...
Oh, Nora says 18. Alright, so, it could be that there's going to be 18, including Beatrice, after somebody dies.
Well, I mean, like...
Possibly.
If that means anything, I don't know, that's just...
I guess to pick the brain a bit more, even if, let's say, Beatrice did, like, possess people, like, wouldn't that still be considered, like, a 19th, though?
That's what I'm saying.
That depends on perspective.
Yeah, perspective, I suppose.
In my perspective, yes. To his perspective, it may still just be 18.
Oh, man.
So, do you think that, I guess my question now is that, do you think Beatrice is more physical than, or more, was it more spirit-like than physical?
That also all depends. The way I've seen this series and the way I've seen this connecting with Higurashi, it could just be that magic needs belief in order to work. Like how you needed to believe and effectively pass a miracle.
I mean, like, I probably wouldn't look too hard into Higurashi.
You want me to explain that a bit?
Well, no, I get what you're saying. It's that I will actually fucking... What was it? There's actually what was it? Like, I think me and Orange have stated this before, but like, fucking, I don't think it's necessarily you'll get much by looking to the past of like Higurashi so much because
I think this is a new world.
As we said previously before, these are so disconnected that you can't fucking. What was it?
We're just saying maybe try to treat them as like separate entities.
Separate stories because like again maybe like they're not like super connected, but like that's just kind of a thing because it's like again we always say this. Umineko and Higurashi are for the most part kind of separated.
Yeah, so
I'm not saying that they're.
forget everything you know about Higurashi. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, like,
I.
Okay, so to re-clarify, I said this before. Ryukishi, in many ways, sort of built this as a quote-unquote follow-up to, not even follow-up, like more of an answer to Higurashi. Like it has a lot of similar ideas, but they're not one-to-one. Like this isn't a part of like a big expanded universe type deal. Like they're grounded in their own sets of realities.
I was going to say, since everyone just started talking at once, I guess, I'm not comparing the two, and I'm not saying they're connected. I'm just saying that maybe the magic system in this one works the same way.
Alright.
Okay.
Mostly in that, magic would need belief to actually work. Otherwise, you can't see it. You can't exactly just go ahead and have some kind of invisible wizard show up and say, yo, what up? Because then again, it's also a good reason as to why this way it does create distrust. Not only are those siblings having their entire fortune just pulled out from underneath them by some invisible force, but she chose Maria of all people. Maybe because Maria actually believes that Beatrice exists. So Maria was able to see her.
So, I guess, so to get that straight, because I kind of, I was reading something, what was it? You think Maria is the only one that can see Beatrice at the current moment?
Only because she believes in witches and she believes Beatrice exists.
Okay, so...
And believing in the existence of the gold doesn't inherently mean that you believe in Beatrice's existence.
Alright.
Okay.
That's I will say from everything you said, that's actually a fair, what was it? A fair guesstimate from what you've been given. Again, I am not telling you whether you're, right or wrong, or like warm or hot. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying that I am right or wrong.
No. I'm just saying that. I'm just adding that.
He's saying that he can't tell you.
Confirm or deny nothing.
I'm just making it.
No,
sound,
I know about that. I'm just continuously spitting out ideas and everything in my thought processes. Also, can I go ahead and just say, I called it when I said I knew Kraus was talking out of his ass about the gold.
It was a shock to me, though, reading it. I was like,
So, do you have anything else you want to talk about specifically?
Let's see here. I wanted to figure out why exactly Rudolph thinks that he's going to be killed that night. Anyone else?
What? Huh?
Question.
I can't quite think of anything we would know at the moment. So
Dig deep. What do we know about Kraus? I mean, sorry, fuck, Rudolph. Fuck! Ugh, they're both pretentious.
They're both voiced by me.
I mean, if you want to, I could always do Rudolph.
just curious, is LaRouche hearing? Oh, he's probably watching the stream.
He's watching the stream right now, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, how is he responding to us in the Discord?
Dig deep, guys. What's a good reason
obviously, like, I can
say that Rudolph would be killed first? Or that
I
you
will
would think or suspect that he'd be killed?
I will say that at the time, I had thought that maybe, the adults had maybe discovered something that the children may have not, and he may have like been like, oh fuck, I'm dead. But that's
and I
what
don't think that's the case. It feels more like he's definitely in. Or that somebody figured something else out about the trial, or they realized that murdering the hypotenuse would mean more gold on the other side.
I mean, like, yeah, to be honest, like, as we previously stated, all these relatives have a reason to kill, except for the cousins, obviously.
Meaning, if they killed, then there would be less money for the other side and more money on theirs.
Mm-hmm. So
that is a legitimate worry.
Ultimately, yeah, like greed can do shit to a motherfucker. So you can make an argument that everyone there has a motive, maybe even some of the servants as well.
What is a worse motive for man than greed?
mean, like, I feel like they even set up a bit of a motive for Natsui there, because she obviously takes the Ishiramiya family's name like with high regard.
Exactly. And it was pretty heart-wrenching, and I was actually starting to tear up whenever I was voicing Natsuhi there. She placed all that blind faith in her husband that she knew was a scumbag, still tried to stay by his side, and got let down. That's horrid.
I mean, like, what was it? I guess to maybe throw this out, maybe because it's like, I guess it's like really hard because it's like I'm trying to remember what I thought at the time, and I don't remember what I was thinking. I guess like I never really pinned down anyone as anything yet at that time because it was like I was still going through the story. So like I think it's really fascinating because it's like at the time. Well, I think at the time it was like I think what was it? Kraus had very much gotten a sour start with me. And like
I'm also thinking Natsuhi isn't capable of murder. She doesn't strike me as the kind of person who would, and even if she did, she'd immediately regret it. Maybe viciously hurting somebody, or flying off the handle, maybe, but she'd immediately regret it.
I do want to know that we have not seen Natsui fucking slap the shit out of Jessica. Just use a very stern voice with her, unlike Rosa.
No.
I mean, the closest we got to that was Kinzo and the wooden sword.
Okay, wow.
Hey, Kenzo and a wooden
Honestly,
sword?
did forget about that for a second.
Wait, what's this about a wooden sword?
In the original first few parts of the story, we ended up learning that Jessica was spanked on her bare ass with a wooden sword by Kinzo.
Right.
Well, that's in the recording now.
Sword.
Still, I also don't think that it's possible that she could have actually done that physically to Jessica. She said beforehand that she never really had an outlet for her anger or her sadness. And take it from me, when you repress those emotions, you get the worst possible fucking headaches. So she's just been bottling up her emotions this entire time, and it's just been causing her physical distress.
True. I mean, like, what was it? Fucking. Like, it's all very, like, I would say weird, because it's like, at this current juncture, we got one person. It feels like one of the parents, like, Rudolph's all like, I'm gonna fucking die tonight. And it feels like the rest of them. Well, I guess we haven't seen Ava and Hideyoshi yet, but it feels like, as we've seen so far, like, Kraus and Natsui haven't even really discussed the idea of fucking dying tonight.
I wonder if Rudolph got like information like in his under his door or some shit that's like a letter or something. It was like, oh god, there's shit on this letter I'm going to die.
That is an interesting idea.
Like, I'm wondering if we just don't have the info yet, and since Maria got a letter, I'm wondering if other people are gonna get letters.
I'm gonna write that down. That's actually a pretty plausible idea.
Wait, Orange, who is that in chat who said
I
that?
have no fucking idea. If he says anything else, just ban him.
Wait, what was that? What?
There's a guy who
Mr.
went like, "You're fat and ugly." I just went, "Love you too, bestie."
Listen, we like to take jabs at each other sometimes, but not to that level. Please cool it, my brother.
I don't
Or
even
whatever.
know who the fuck you are.
I don't think they're even in chat anymore.
They just fucking dipped out. Whatever.
Still, that actually is a good possibility.
One of
But
us?
No, not that.
Oh, sorry.
I mean other people getting letters from Beatrice.
So, oh, you think there might be more letters from Beatrice around?
It could be a possibility.
Alright.
So right now I'm dealing with a lot of possibilities and a lot of guesses that are probably going to go nowhere.
I mean, like, it is turning the night, and it feels like what was it? It feels like we're about to like hit maybe the dawn of the next day, and I guess maybe that's because like most murder mysteries, it feels like after the first night, that's when stuff starts happening.
The cause of her headaches, Noir?
What?
Stress, more or less.
Yeah.
If you have too much stress in your system and you're not properly expressing your emotions, it can build up to tension headaches.
Boy, I know that feel.
Yep. It's also something that a lot of college... Oh yeah, definitely right, Crimson. It can also lead to lower back pain. It can also lead to intestinal distress, sinus problems, ulcers. Found out most of that in college. Thank you, psychopharmacology.
Alright. So is that pretty much all you have, or do you still add some more?
No, I believe that's just about it.
Alright.
then.
So, anyone else have anything?
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
ask any
wait,
questions?
there was one other thing.
Okay.
Was that really the first time that Jessica has seen Natsuhi, her own mom, with that bad of a headache?
Perhaps.
I don't know.
I mean, they don't state when Natsui got the headaches, do they?
No, really doesn't.
So maybe it's a recent thing because of the family conference.
Hmm.
Or maybe this one specifically is stressful, more stressful than like previously.
Or maybe she gets some every time the family conference like comes around, and
I
like
know
this
that
time, and because this time they're like going in on the inheritance super hard, she got even more stressful.
Yeah.
And plus, finding out that like your husband has been lying to you the whole time ain't exactly gonna help.
Worse.
And sees you
Okay,
nothing
yeah.
more as a trophy wife, that's kind of bad.
What do you mean? There's no talk of that.
Is implying.
No, there wasn't any implying, was it?
Wait, implying what?
They're playing Crossview's Natsui as a trophy wife. What do you mean?
When did that ever get brought up?
Yeah.
What do you mean by trophy wife?
Do you not know what trophy
He
wife
doesn't
is?
see her as an equal value member of the family. Sees her nothing more as just a part of a lower being than him.
What do you mean? That doesn't mean trophy wife. That's I guess it's just sexism.
A trophy wife is somebody like
It's
the wife
sexism. Adding
you-
that in as well.
that you have is like a way to make yourself look better.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, he probably doesn't view her as an equal, but I also never got the trophy wife feeling from her.
Yeah.
Like, you
I mean, like, she's fine as fuck, but like, I don't.
I
think
mean,
she's a
granted,
trophy wife.
actually, she doesn't really seem to be like harbor animosity toward him, except for this time. So I mean, they might have gotten along well for a while.
Might
Yeah.
have. Or it was arranged. Because she
Maybe.
said she didn't have any choice when she did marry him.
Did she say that?
Yeah, kinda.
I don't even remember that.
Well, if that's
But my memory bad.
if that is the end, I guess this is the
Yep,
final wrap
that's
up.
all I had to ask.
And before we leave and end the stream, I would like to burn this onto everyone's memory.
God damn it, Dan! Damn it, man! Why?
He likes
Oh, man,
class
I'm-
dress.
Oh
Master
God,
demand
that is
said
It's
wear it.
not that bad.
It's not that bad. If it makes you feel any
his head
better,
is too big for the body.
if it makes you feel any better, there's one that exists of a Nanjo over Beatrice's body. And that's just
Wait,
unrelated. I didn't even make that.
LaRouche? The Beatrice
Is that Angus?
I prefer the Beatrice Aegis over this. Yes.
LaRouche, as a resident guy that likes guys, I'm pretty sure. How do you feel about that?
Wow, Bone.
Wow.
Wait, yeah, I'm right. Wait, he does like guys, right? I'm not wrong, right?
What?
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 I totally. What the fuck are you talking about, Bo?
Don't worry about it.
Let's give you an answer. Delete this.
Now seems like a great time to wrap up this.
Yes, it is.
Hold up a second. Noir is asking Joshi to say, "It makes me feel pretty" in Genji's voice for the dress.
Makes me feel pretty.